You guys ever wondered if something happened to you when you were a kid and you're just blocking it out? You know, like maybe you got molested or something, and that's why your parents' friend Trevor stopped coming around, why you're incontinent, why you get a sense of dread when you see Lena Dunham. I don't know. Never happened to me, at least I hope not. Welcome back to DopplerVidya, 7th installment of Super Mario Bros. 3. World 8 is recorded as well, I just have to narrate and render. I feel bad for anyone that did happen to. I mean, there has to be psychological damage there, and you know, and they don't even know about it. Or maybe they have nightmares or something. Lena Dunham. I don't know why, I'm sure her sister has those nightmares. Because, you know, she molested her sister and got away with it. Thanks, social justice. I thought I was fucked right there. I thought that turtle shell was gonna... Because, you know, they're only pedophiles if they're men. Women get away with it kind of shit. This is what feminism does. I've never seen Lena Dunham in anything. I don't intend to unless I pirate it. But even then, she has a show called Girls, I think. That's the only thing I know of that she's done. I don't know. Name of the show, I don't know. It just sounds like it would be. It's on. I think it's on HBO or something, so it might be an hour long. Like, I'm sure it's just all jailbait all the way through it. I will never pay for anything that she's in. No pedophile deserves my money, except Jimmy Page. I think he earned it with Led Zeppelin. I think that's the only pedophile I would give money to. Knowingly, I ate at Subway well, I still eat at Subway occasionally. Nobody knew the I don't know. Nobody saw that one coming. I mean, it's kind of fucked up. He loses all that weight and he still can't find a real woman. He has to go for the kids. I don't know. It doesn't. Like, what a tragic life that guy must lead. Okay, this world is like it took me a little longer than the others did. I think it came out to 35 minutes after editing. I thought I would get it like shorter than that in the editing. I guess I didn't, because here we are. I had to fucking restart my computer because Sony Vegas 13 was crashing. I didn't know what was going on. It might have been because I swapped resolution a couple of times. Sitting here, I just had one of those Yerba Mate drinks I got from Walmart. Taking my medicine. Good to go. They have water level, or like levels with water. There's one water level in this world. I had a lot of trouble with it when I was a kid, but luckily I got the frog suit, which I would have gladly traded for a hammer suit. The hammer suit, I mean, it's hard to hit the enemies, but you can do whatever with it. You can kill just about anything. I think you can even kill thwons. I know you can kill the ghosts, so the hammers must be made out of iron. I still remember the first time I played this level. Good times, good times. Like, I remember the feeling I had while I was playing it and everything. I was at my grandmother's house, like, woke up at like 7 or 8, I was playing it, I remember the sun coming through the window. It was nice. I think that's why I like this game so much. So many childhood memories. This was one of my first video games. My absolute first video game, I think, though, like my uncle, he had the NES. That's why they had it over at their house. And I remember always, like, I would see him playing it, and I would want to play. I think he might have let me try Super Mario, like the original one, at one point when I was like 2, but I didn't do very well at it. My grandpa used to play it with me, which is strange. You don't think anyone over 60 would play any sort of video game, but he used to do that. But like, I wanted one, so he ended up. I don't think my parents wanted me to have one, so he went out and bought one. It was one of the top loading units. I guess those came out a little later than the normal ones. It was a lot handier for the Game Genie with the top loading unit, that's for sure. It was a bitch whenever trying to put him in the front of the others. But he went out and bought it, and he said, "No, this isn't his, it's mine, I'm just letting him borrow it." And I still have it to this day. That was like 23 years ago. Still works too, or at least I hope it does. I don't know, it was in that house fire. The game that he bought with it was Tiny Toon Adventures 2. Like with that one, if you knew what you were doing, it was like the game was short as fuck. There were only 5 stages. One had 3 parts to it. But like the 5th stage was a fun house. It was at a theme park. It was called Adventures in Wacky Land. That was another thing I used to watch when I was a kid. I barely remember it at all, but I remember, or the episodes anyway. I remember the movie. But yeah, the game, like, you went on bumper cars first, and that was the most difficult one. Well, you didn't have to do them in order, but you went on the four rides. If you beat them, you got a golden ticket, and if you got 4 golden tickets, you got to visit the fun house. And if you did it that way, it probably took 10 minutes just to get to the 5th level. There was a much more tedious way, though. You could swap out your points for regular tickets. So you could get 50 tickets and still go into the funhouse. I don't know, why am I talking about that? We're playing Mario. Playing fucking Mario. This one I didn't really remember what all you were supposed to do. I just remembered you were supposed to go up those pipes and get all those hidden blocks. I hope you guys are enjoying these, because only 2 of them have been able to be monetized. Nintendo is a dick when it comes to copyright claims. Like, my channel is gonna cost them any money. Like, just having... They don't even have these games out there anymore unless it's... Well, I guess the Wii market, or whatever you call it. I don't know, I never bothered with the Wii market. I just modded. Why pay for something you can get for free? And it's not stealing, because I owned this game at one point. It's just... I'm sure that a lawyer would see that differently. Yeah, that right there. Oh, I pulled it off. I didn't remember that. Oh, Jimmy Page. I don't think I really went into the whole thing of why he's a pedophile earlier. He dated a 14-year-old girl. There were even rumors, I don't know, Cracked.com, they said that he actually held her hostage, like, at his house. And then Stockholm's, she fell in love with him. I googled it for the purposes of this video, because I was talking about it, and I had Sony Vegas crash 2 or 3 times, so I had to start over. The Rolling Stone article just said that he dated her. It didn't say anything about the hostage situation. Cracked.com is kind of hit or miss. A lot of those social justice assholes on there. That's why I always use ad block when I go there. Like, always. They still have some interesting stuff, but they also have a lot of stuff that makes me mad. Like, a lot of stuff. I remember this one article talking about racist weddings. There were 4 of them, or offensive. It might have just been offensive weddings. There were 4 of them. One of them was it's probably still on there. I remember one of them was like a plantation wedding. I don't remember if it was Paula Dean's wedding or not, but the other one, another one they mentioned, was a hobo-themed wedding. What the fuck is offensive about hobos? Well, according to them, it was because, oh, the hobos had to struggle, blah blah blah, back in the day. What group of people has not had to struggle? White people have struggled? Does that mean that traditional weddings are offensive? The person who made the fucking wedding dress struggled in a sweatshop in New York or somewhere, I don't know. Sure we have sweatshops here. God damn it. Fucking Sony Vegas 13. It crashed again. It took like 12 minutes this time. I just said fuck it and swapped back to 12. I don't really think there's a whole lot of difference. But yeah, these... I don't know what it is. I was talking to a friend earlier, and she said... talking about stereotypes. She said that black people are more athletic. Which I guess that could be a thing. Like, it sounds legit. I mean, they're just because of evolution and living in Africa, having to hunt and everything. Asian people are smarter, which I think that's just because of the school system. The American school system is broken. Which leads, apparently, more and more people are swapping over to homeschooling. So it's either, you know, homeschool your kids or have them probably end up stupid. I know a lot of people, they don't even have to fucking be able to read right to be able to graduate. But she was saying, what about white people? And of course I said weight gain was probably our thing. But it just now occurred to me. Our thing is being able to find things to be offended about. Like, I'm betting everything I just said will not be offensive to the races that I was talking about, except for white people. I bet anyone that comments on this video complaining about racism or insensitivity it's probably gonna be some, like, I don't know, some Tumblr bitch. Surprisingly, I haven't gotten a, like, there have been a few people who come onto my YouTube channels, and really the biggest argument that's ever been had was on the Tumblr cringe compilation Otherkin. There was one Otherkin that got on there. Oh yeah, there's, by the way, on this course, I didn't find it. I forgot where it was, but in that room full of the bricks, somewhere there is a, like, a P switch that you can hit, and they all turn to coins. You get a ton of them, and then I think there's a secret room that's either got some 1-ups or a power-up. I don't remember which. What was I talking about? I don't know. It's like here in America, we don't have as many problems. I mean, we have problems, don't get me wrong, but we don't have as many as a lot of other places in the world. So instead of just being content, people go out looking for things to be offended about. It's fucking pathetic is what it is. Then they all find Tumblr. It seems to draw them in like a fucking magnet. I know, like... I know not all of Tumblr is that way. But a lot of it is. You see crazier shit on Tumblr than... I remember playing Borderlands for the first time. I still have not played it all the way through. I just played a little bit of multiplayer with someone I know, like, with a controller that didn't work for shit. And, he said something about Tiny Tina or something. He told me to look her up on YouTube, since we probably wouldn't get that far. Might have been Borderlands 2, I don't know, but I looked it up. And the thing that that came up pretty early on in the search results was about her being racist because of the way she talks. Saying cultural appropriation is no joke, and the creator of the game got in an argument with some fucking retard on Twitter, and he was like, "You're basically using the N-word, blah blah blah." What if this girl, she talked black, saying things like badonka-donk and whatnot. What if this girl grew up around black people, and in the same way that if you grow up in Australia, you're going to have an Australian accent. If you grow up in Russia and then learn English, you're going to have a Russian accent. You'll probably have a Russian accent in Russian. I don't know how that fucking works. And the person doing the argument was a white guy. And to me, that's a slap in the face to black people everywhere, because it's like, oh, they're too weak to fight their own battles, I'm gonna do it for them, blah blah blah. Trying to control them, telling them what should be offending them. Racism is starting to fade away. It's still, like, it's still around, but it's starting to go away. I think in the next 100 years or so, it won't even really be an issue at all. People don't seem to realize this. And now we got this new wave of people on Tumblr who are racist towards white men. And I'm not talking about black people being racist towards white men. I am talking about white people and white men being racist towards white men. Cis scum. Fucking It's fucking ridiculous. They say, oh, you can't be racist towards white people because racism is shit. I don't know. I can't remember. I don't usually pay attention to these sorts of things. It was racism is hatred plus power or something. No, racism is disliking someone because of their race. There is no more to it. Like, yeah, if you have a racist in office, it's gonna cause problems. But it doesn't mean they weren't a racist before they got into. I don't even know. I don't even know what I'm saying. I don't know where I'm going with this. I just know that I'm right, as usual. This stage is a bitch right here. This fucking stage, man. But you'd think they would be happy just living their lives and not sticking their nose into other people's business, telling them what to think, how to behave. Political correctness it's just a form of censorship. That caught me off guard. I did not expect those things to be shooting fire. I should have known because I've played this before, but I forgot about that particular thing. We're getting to the part where I had the most trouble with this stage. Normally that would have been the part like that stage before the first castle where the little clam face chomp things were coming out of the pipes. But no, stages 9 in the castle. No, stage 9, I got through it. The castle and the thing directly after that, that's where I had the most trouble. It was I may have already said this, but World 8 is going to be a lot shorter. It didn't take me nearly as long. I think it was only like 20 minutes altogether. Now that I'm getting towards the end, I can cash in on some of my rarer items, because I have a tendency to hoard those until I get to the towards the end. Now with this one, you would think you could just fly over it all, right? Well, you would be wrong. It gives you more time to get through Bowser's castle, and Bowser's castle is I seem to recall in the first one, Bowser's Castle, like the final World 8 stage for the World 8 castle. I seem to remember that being a maze. Like there were 3 levels and you had to go through them in order or something. There is a maze in World 8. It's right before Bowser's Castle. I've noticed something with these. It never calls him Bowser on this. Like, when exactly did he stop being King of the Koopas and become Bowser? I started to look that up earlier, but then I realized I was too lazy. I stopped worrying so much with coins because, you know, I get Like 99 lives. Cultural appropriation, though, that's another form. That's basically segregation of white people. We've come so far in the last 100 years. You know, 100 years ago, if a white man, or if a black man married a white woman, or vice versa, they would probably be beaten to death or something. And now it's just the norm. You get a few comments here and there, like people saying race traitor and shit like that. But people are starting to realize, well, people have realized there's nothing wrong with it. So we've went from that to what we have today, and there are still a few stragglers that are, you know, living in the past. But people are still, people need something to complain about, especially white people in America. I looked up the map right here, sue me. But, I see a lot of people hating on Iggy Azalea. I fucking hate her, but I don't... That's just because she makes terrible music. Or at least the one song that I've heard by her has been terrible. And the only reason I looked that up was so I would have a point of reference for when I listen to Weird Al's version. It was just so god-awful. But people have been calling her racist. The person who, I'm pretty sure, exclusively dates black men. There seems to be a feud between her and somebody named Azalea Banks. I don't know if it's like Tyra Banks' daughter or something. But she's one of those extremists. Like, she was saying that everybody should look into their family tree and see if any of their ancestors owned slaves. And if so, find the descendants of those slaves and pay reparations. No. No. Oh, I was trying to kill that thing right there. That makes no sense. I mean, if your great-grandfather killed somebody, should you be put in prison for it? No, not unless you were an accomplice. I guess I should have clarified that. If your great-grandfather killed somebody before you were born, should you be punished for it? Should you be treated differently? Should you be put in jail or have to pay money to the great-grandchildren of the person he killed? Fuck no. That's not how the world works. We don't have to make up for things in the past that our ancestors have done. That's fucking stupid. And anyone who thinks that, oh, by the way, I skipped the castle momentarily, I do go back to it. Anyone who thinks that is a retard. I'm never gonna stop using the word retard. It's too good. Now I use it just because it offends people. These people who are too fucking sensitive about everything. The word retarded is an accurate definition. Retarded means like hindered or progression slowed. If you're using it as an insult, I can see where it would be like offensive to a retarded person. Rick and Morty, oh, this right here. Rick and Morty touched on that, and I thought it was really great the way they did it. Like, if you haven't seen it, you should watch that show. At the very least, when you get done here, look up a YouTube clip. I think if you type in Rick and Morty retarded, it'll show it. But you know what they called people before they called them mentally retarded? Half-wit, idiot, things like that. The word retarded was chosen to replace that, like, I think in court documents, actually, in the 20s. But then people started using it as an insult. So, retarded people, no better way of putting it, started thinking that it was an insult every time. And then you get the idiots out there that'll run to anyone's rescue, whether they need help or not, going in and defending it. You get these campaigns like Stop the R Word and whatnot. I saw a funny one recently, Stop the M Word. The M Word being midget. They want to be called dwarves. Correct me if I'm wrong, but wouldn't dwarf be more offensive? Because when I think dwarf, I think long beards and mithril, and like heavy drinking, hatred for elves. Unless that's why they like it, because it's... I mean, because it makes them sound cool. I'm sure there are cool, but I don't know. Peter Dinklage is awesome. Well, as an actor, I don't know. I don't know anything about him in person. All right, we're finally to the final stage. I'll probably be narrating World 8 right after this. I hate those fucking bolts, and you don't even have to use them half the time. Actually, I don't think there was ever a time where you absolutely had to use them. No fire in that one. But I'm gonna wrap up this whole rant. What you should do is you should just say what you want, think what you want, and don't let anybody tell you differently. Don't bend to the will of these people who would have you be politically correct 100% of the time, living in fear of saying anything that might offend anybody. The thing is, if people would stop getting offended, it would take away the power that these words have. I really hope this one monetizes. I turned the audio in the game down just a little bit more. Even right here, you don't... like, those aren't truly necessary. I mean, the last one was, but you don't have to make it go or anything. And Ludwig von Koopa, I think this one's name is. Grab the magic wand. And that is stage 7. Falling down. He's back. Oh shit, we fucked up. We turned him into an Amish guy. Oh well.
Yo, I kidnapped the princess while you were running around. She's here in my castle if you dare to try to rescue her. Ha ha ha, King of the Koopas. P.S. Please wipe your shoes on the rug before you come inside.
Alright, that's it for today. Well, maybe not. I might upload the second one here in a minute. But if you like my shit, please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, tell your friends about my channel, share these videos on social media. Adios.